never stop, I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders. Now we ain't getting posterized, we out here making posters, and we ain't got nothing to hide.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Thank you, Subhuman. I see you guys, man. It says no volume. I probably never sounded better. Never sounded better, I'm sure. Let's make sure we're situated. That's what happens. You take a couple of days and no pre-gaming, and all of a sudden things kind of fall apart. So, got it. Thank you, guys. Got it. Ready to go. Let's restart. What up, and welcome here to Pre-Gaming Sports Money. Monday to Friday, 6 p.m. We don't stop. Rain, sleet, or snow. You know we're good to go. We got a big card to work through tonight. I'll say a big card, but tricky card. Tricky card would be the way that I describe that. I hope you guys all had a glorious, fantastic, exciting, refreshing, recharging Thanksgiving weekend. Boy, you know, with the schedule, the way it worked out, without any first strike, we came out there and did a little live Wednesday night football show for Thursday. A bunch of cashers out there. I know our guy Spenny Penny Bombs put together a monster touchdown parlay. The boys were cashing. Then what do we have? Friday, we had the NFL game. Friday live stream NFL game. Smacked the card. Rolled right into a live edition of Pre-Gaming with some special guests. And smacked that evening card. So that was very profitable. Saturday rolled around, college football. I don't think you guys saw me over there on the Guns channel. Cashed a nice 5-leg college football parlay. It was a glorious Saturday. And then yesterday, beat him up, punched him in the face, kicked him in the mouth, all those things that you're supposed to do, culminating with a fun Sunday night stream. It was a ton of fun. We had fireworks. I don't just mean it was fireworks. I mean, there was literally fireworks. It was fun. It was cool. Shout out to MMA Jeff for getting us dialed in. Every time the Bills scored a touchdown, he was out there lighting them off. And they got like 3 feet of snow. So it was funny to watch him tunnel his way through the yard and get after it. But it was a lot of fun. And now we got to get back to work. It's time to get serious. We got to get moving. And you'll see here, we've got it's a small card for the NHL. What do they have? 4 games tonight? We're going to dive into 2 of them. I've got official plays in 2 of them. And no, it's not the minus 400 Toronto Maple Leafs. The last time I joked around about that being a best bet, I lost. And I think it was Chicago against Dallas, if I'm not mistaken. I think that was the case. Then we'll talk about Dallas and Utah, the Yeti out there getting her going. Then we'll jump into the NBA. We got 2 plays in the NBA. We've got the Nets and Bulls. We've got the Lakers and the Timberwolves. We've got 1 college basketball play. Again, small card here. Air Force, Miami, Ohio. And then, of course, Monday night football will bring us to a close here. And we won't spend a lot of time here tonight. Got a lot of things to do. Lots of plays to make. Shout out. I know Sub Club is going to be in operation tonight. We're going to get a video together for some soccer action later this week. And you had a nice day today. Cash that Atlanta spot. Nice plus money casher out there. Good stuff. Community tab has been popping. We've got all kinds of things going on over there between the consensus reports for college football and the NFL. All the guys coming in sharing their best bets or their favorite looks to help you guys get paid. And that's the way we do it. So We will continue to do it. We will continue to try to bring you guys valuable insight, information, and all the rest that goes into it. So if you could take that time, now is the time where you close that comment button, you hit that thumbs up, then you pop that comment back open, and we'll get the show moving in the right direction. Thank you kindly. So important to help us with that thumbs up button. Take a second to do that right now. All right. Let's go. Let's see what we have here. Last official show that we had was Wednesday. I had to go back and look at the notes to see how we did. We smashed both these spots. Voos, the over 1.5 threes. The Scotty Barnes double-double. Got the triple-double. Left that money on the table. Xavier under 153.5 cashes for us. As does OKC -4. The Dallas Mavericks do not cash. The Houston spot does cash. The Pittsburgh Penguins spot flies over the number early. I think it was like the beginning of the second period. Tampa in regulation. Man, them Capitals are pesky. That would be the way I describe the Capitals. Pesky. Despite the loss of Ovechkin, the team has filled in around him. Maybe he's a product of the team. I don't know, but I know Minnesota busted up them Sabres real easy like for us, and that was good cash as well. So we have been rolling. And look, important announcement here about last week. I believe it was like Tuesday. Jumped up and started using BetStamp. I know a bunch of the fellas here from the Sports Money team are using BetStamp for recording our action. You miss a show, if you can't catch a replay, if you're not sure about that bet because you forgot to write it down, go over there to BetStamp. You'll find me at Mikey Money. Mikey Money. Yep. Mikey Money at BetStamp. And I've been tracking the plays that I give out here on Pregaming, the plays that we give out on any of the recorded video sessions out there, and, of course, the community tab. So that's what you can expect in that process. Try to be transparent with you guys and get some legitimate record keeping in front of you. On demand, you can go check out what's going on with everybody out there. Should be the wave. I think everyone's going to get rolling over there to BetStamp. So check it out. It's free. And again, Mikey Money, you can follow the action that's out there, especially when you get to things like parlay. So let's open the show up here and we'll talk about this. Then we'll get to that and we'll do the other thing and we'll put a bow on this thing. How about that? Let me start with this because, oh shit, you know what I got to do? I got to do it like this. Let's start with this. Give you some plays, then we'll get in there and we will highlight the best bets from the chat. The best chatters in the business do assemble here. Heard someone say the other day, everyone thinks their chat's the best. Our chat right here. Bracket, absolute best chat in the business, coming here to share their bets, having all day to marinate on the card. So let's talk about this here. Let's go down the numbers here. This is a fixed legger. Six. Sometimes it's 3, sometimes it's 6. I usually get 4 or 5 in there, but this one worked out this way, and I thought it made a lot of sense to attack it, so that's exactly what we're going to do. We got Clint Capella. We got over 9.5 rebounds to start this parlay off. And, the Hawks, don't look now. 3-game winning streak and moving on up in the Eastern Conference. The Pelicans are awful. They're last place in the West, and they're on an 8-game losing streak out there. Thing is, when you look at Capella now, double-digit rebounding totals the last couple of games. 20 or more minutes in 8 of his last 10 games. The lines are moving up. As long as we don't see blowout city in this Atlanta spot tonight, Capella's got a great opportunity to tag this thing out there. Last game, 10 rebounds in 3 quarters. Got it done in 3 quarters. Should play plenty of minutes today, despite the 8-game losing streak that is the Pelicanos. Capella's rebound number should be in play. There's our guy. We got to go back to Voos. Got to take the over 1.5 threes with Voos. Now, why didn't I straight play him this time and just drop him in this parlay? Because he's now juicy. Voosy is juicy. He's like minus 125 or something like that. But we're not going to be redundant. You already know the Vucevic train has left the station and we have been riding all aboard. We're going to go Jason Tatum. He will play. That has been confirmed. We're going to take his double-double. I've got triple-double on the mind after what we saw Scotty Barnes do last week, and it's plus 1,100. So take a peek at that opportunity in that Miami Heat Boston Celtics game out there. Tatum's got a double-double in 5 of the last 6 games he plays against the Heat. Who's he like getting double-doubles on? The Miami Heat. So let's go with a Jason Tatum double-double. Like I said, take a look to sprinkle that triple-double for Jason Tatum. I'm going to go to Rudy. I'm going to go a little off the beaten path here. Now, Anthony Davis has been playing phenomenal. As long as he's healthy, he's a 25-plus pointer game in and game out, it seems like. Now, they got the Timberwolves tonight. It's going to be the second leg of a back-to-back, but this is a lower total. We'll get to this game shortly. But I got Rui, 16 or more points in 9 of his last 10 on the second leg of a back-to-back. And we'll talk about why that is, but, certainly the second leg of the back-to-back. 16 plus. It was 11.5 as I was typing in this parlay. Fucking thing moved on me to 12.5, which is fine. I would have preferred the 11.5 points-wise, but I got 12.5. So 12.5 is the number we got in this thing. I went to JT, Jonathan Tavares. This guy's been a scoring machine against the Blackhawks specifically. Sometimes we have these unique matchups. He's got a goal in 10 of his last 12 against the Chicago Blackhawks, and they're huge favorites at minus 400, suggesting they're going to win. Suggesting he's going to score and they're going to win seems to make a lot of sense out there. 10 of 12, just to get a point. We don't even need him to score a goal. Just get a point. Just assist fucking Austin Matthews. That's all. That's all you got to do. And then the last but not least, I went to Dougie Hamilton, New Jersey Devil. I love a defenseman that shoots the puck. I like a scheme. We've talked about this before where they funnel the pucks around the outside, back to the point, back to defense. Defense operates like a quarterback out there, letting the guys get in formation. Then they blast a shot on goal. Who does it more than Dougie Hamilton? Well, just about nobody. He leads the New Jersey Devils. I should say he's second in the New Jersey Devils in shots on goal. He's only 1 shot behind Jack Hughes. And if you know the Devils and you know Jack Hughes, you know the deal out there. 3 power play goals. He averages 21 minutes of ice time, and he shoots the puck, and they lead by taking charge from the point. That's going to bring us home. That's a little 6-legger. It's a little over 32 to 1. A little over 32 to 1. And obviously, I like all these plays individual. So, that's kind of the whole premise, right, of tracking them and sharing these in a parlay is, we're going for the big score. But we've talked about this before. So if you're new to the show here, cover a lot of ground in parlays or props kind of in one swoop. So if you guys are prop players, if you're looking to play them individually, if you do want to parlay them, if you do want to round robin them, that's what I certainly suggest is, take 3, bundle them together, and let the computer put all the parlay options together for you, because you don't want to miss out when these things start firing. And we've been pretty fortunate. I think we got about an 80% hit rate on the player props. Not the parlay 80% hit rate, but about an 80% hit rate in the props themselves. So be smart about how you break them down. You got to figure out what works for you, but that certainly works for me. So hopefully you guys are on board with that action. All right, let's see what's going on out there. Shout out to Joe T in the chat. Jover's got it over. And he's going the F your under play of the day. He's taking the Devils and Rangers first period over 1.5. Shout out to NJ Striker. And another official play from Jover. Dustin Hopkins over 1.5 field goals. Over 1.5 field goals. Jover, I thought that field goal numbers looked good last night. Certainly, I know you were trying to squeeze that into a parlay, but sometimes we can't do that in the same game parlay. But I like this one here tonight. I think that's a good-looking number. Rob McMahon in the house. He's got the other side of the ball. What am I saying here? The other side of the football field. He's going to Lutz over 1.5 field goals and the Broncos money line at even money. Okay. I get down with that. Shout out to TransCanada. Guy hates on the Flyers, but then he bets the Flyers. I think he's a closeted Flyers fan. That's what we do, TransCanada. Put them in the closet. They play so bad, nobody wants to admit it. But then every so often you hear, I just cashed on him. And I know that's you, my guy. I know that's you. Gonzo's in the house. He's got his favorite play of the day set up over there on the community tab. Shout out to Nicholas Handy. Let's go. We got Vela Coots in the house. Tim Montana. Let's go, you guys. Appreciate you guys hanging out. Nanya, Winner's Circle's got a play for us. Murray over 11.5 rebounds and assists. Okay. Let's go. Shout out to you, True Teller. He's back in action, ready to attack today. And Nunny says, if the Broncos can win this, ya boy gonna up the action 3x. 3x, huh? Man, I 3x the shit out of that Ottawa Senators game last night. That fucking hurt. Oh, such a monster day. And then I just got stupid on that Ottawa Senators game, and it hurt. It hurt. Chip says, I want one CBB play. Shout out to Markel. Cameron Sinet says, Hunter Biden pardon was good money. Shout out to Sancho's in the house. There's Gonzo says, at sub, great call on Atlanta. Love starting the week off with a big win. Nutty says, Mike, you always got those teeth-kicking shoes on. Try to, man. We try to. We certainly try to. Shout out to Keith, each every stride. He likes the first half under 20.5 in the Monday Night Football game. Damon Waring, he's in the house. He's ready to lock. He likes UMBC halftime money line. Appreciate you sharing that. There's our guy, Nasty Nate, giving us the Celtics second quarter. And Nunny has 43 as the total. Exact. Nasty Nate says, my name is Soap. Shout out to Flea Mathis. He likes the over in this game. Okay. JPZ's got a little difference of thought process here on UMBC. Says Hampton came into their house and beat them by 10. Captain Cards. Thoughts on Randall rebound ladder tonight? I really don't have any thoughts on it. It's kind of a shit answer, isn't it? I know that some of the index I have, so he's under on his points. I know that. Let me look real quick. Let me look at something here. That's what we want to do here. We want to help you guys. I would suggest staying away from the ladder. That's what I would suggest. Just a suggestion. Strong index to the under 6.5 rebounds for Julius Randle. Matter of fact, well, time will tell. He looks like he's under on everything tonight. Points, rebounds, assists, three-pointers, the gamut. So now I'm going to be curious to watch how that action goes down, Captain Cards. Now I'm going to be curious. Let's go. Dunny says, I'm 14-1 on moneyline picks in a contest. Need the Broncos to get me to the money. Shout out to Nunya. So Cameron Sinet, got to play the V-Man's threes tonight. Fucking hate playing the NBA. You got to. Shout out to Jay Main. Dana Delps here. Jay Main says, rookie quarterbacks, 19-5-1 against the spread the last 25 Monday night games. Damn. That is the number. Here's Juggler 23. Last 14 plays on this site posted 14 wins, 2 losses. Now that I just jinxed myself, he's got Yale plus 3.5. Juggler, you're the man. We know that, too. We know that. Not one bad play that's going to make anybody think different. You're fucking stomping. We appreciate you rocking with us. Textiles is here. All right, guys, let's get to work, huh? Oldie's in the house. He's ready to roll. Juggler says, NBA trend, host teams playing a 4th straight home game are 32-17. 32-16 against the spread. Hosting team playing in an A to A, B to B, C to C game? It says the Wolves -7. Shout out to Barry in the house. 2 accounts, 2 likes. Let's go. Shout out to Trisha M. Rocking with us. Joe W. Robert McCormick saying, good evening, everybody. Presidential Minded Kings likes Tulane -7 and Washington. Barry likes the Bo Nix anytime touchdown. Oh, there it is. Washington State +11. Tulane -7. Gotcha. Randall and the point guard on the Lakers are the last 2 of Kobe's remaining active teammates. I didn't know that. Shout out to Peter Gracia. Yeah, he's definitely going to be famous. Irish Kings here. He's ready to roll. Jay Peasy. Yale +4 is his only bet. Got it last night. I'm going to be on the other side of you boys in that Yale action. Highly trusted sharps. That's the key. The key. And they are slamming in on the other side now. But you know what? 4 and 2.5 are, be it 1.5 points apart, worlds apart. So we'll see what happens. Oh, it's going to be fun to see what you guys are rocking with here. Let's go. All right, so we got the parlay underway. That's going to be leg number 1 here of our card. Play number 1 of our card, I should say. Not leg number 1 of our card. Let's get into the NHL. Let's put the skates on. Let's take a little spin on the ice. Let's talk about this Blackhawks. We talked a little bit about it in the player prop there with Tavares being a fucking killer, and especially against the Blackhawks. And interesting enough, excuse me. Interesting enough. Well, we've got Soderblom going, and we know it's Chicago's tail end of the back-to-back. This guy hasn't played in 2 weeks, though. He's rested. Only 6 games on the season. He sucks. He's 1-4. But 2.36 goals against average and 92.6%. If he could get some offense, he could figure a way out. Then we have Stolarz on the other side. 7-4-2, 2.32 goals against average, and a 92.1% save percentage. Stop right there. Knowing nothing else and how important the goaltenders are. Your coin flip. Your coin flip between the two. Yeah, Stolarz is 7-4-2, but the Maple Leafs are kicking the absolute dog shit out of everybody. They got the squad back. They're healthy. They're rested. Stolarz only played 1 of the last 4, so he's coming in rested. 3 or more in 3 straight. It is Stolarz, by the way. 3 or more goals in 3 straight. I don't know if that's where you want to get your money. I certainly would encourage not that direction. But I went to so a couple things. Toronto is a home favorite over -200. They're just 6-6 in their last 12. So if you're going to play the high probability or the best odds, I know it's a big number and the Blackhawks stink, but that's the way. You got a coin flip in net with the goaltenders, and you got a 6-6 team that's over -200. Couldn't quite get there. What I did see is Bedard. First time going into Toronto, Connor Bedard. Road dogs. A road dog with Connor Bedard versus the East. They're not scoring. They're 4-11. So that scares me. It scares the shit out of me from jumping in there and trying to make a heavy play. But I did look at this. I got some plus money on an under 1.5. Why? Well, 2 things. One, both these goaltenders are above serviceable. They're at reasonable, I guess, in terms of the criteria and how we kind of look at these guys here. They're more than serviceable. They're not quite elite, but they're somewhere in between. And you look at that, less than 2.3 goals against average on both sides of the equation. They're both coming in rested. When your team is coming in and you're not rested and the line's bigger than a -200 with a 6, when you got a home favorite that was just coming back from the road, 9-14 to the under. 9-14 to the under. And then last but not least, this is just a historically slow starting team. Overall, when you look at kind of the metrics of the matchup here with, I guess the challenge would be if they come out there and they bust them out right away. They bust them in the mouth and shit goes sour real fast. But look, the Leafs are 9-4 to the under in the first period at home. The Blackhawks are 9-5 to the under on the road in the first period at 1.5. Both goaltenders playing pretty solid. I wouldn't even be surprised to sprinkle a little Chicago Blackhawks, but I'm going to play the official spot. Toronto first period under 1.5 at a nice plus 110 price tag to keep us moving. Opening up the action, taking a shot. Now, as I look across the board, I think so too, Nasty Nate. I think so too. We'll see. We'll see. Yale wants to pace it out. Yale's got to play pace. That's the thing. Yale's not. It's not like they're banging in threes from all over the court like they used to a couple years ago. They gotta pace it out, and we'll see. That'll be fun to watch. It's fun. It's always fun to know what everybody's got going on out there when they try to fire away at it. But speaking of firing away at it, the first period under 1.5 is going to be how we open up the NHL action. I know Jover likes that first period over in the Devils game. I'm going to go the under in that first period here. Now, speaking of, okay. I'm going to add a spot to the card tonight. I don't have a graphic for it. I was waiting for this because I wanted to see what the line movement was going to do, and this is where the concern was. It was at minus 122 like all morning. It just bounced down to minus 120 at about 5 o'clock. But now we're seeing, some of this late cash coming in on this Devil side of things, and that's, I'm not steam chasing, but that's where I want to have my cash involved here tonight. We've got Jacob Markstrom in the net for the Devils. He's 11-6-1. And here's some of those numbers again. 2.62 goals against average, 90.2% save percentage. Now, not phenomenal, but decent. Anytime you're north of that 2.5 goals against average, it does correlate with the 90.2%, though. 18 games, he's been a reliable. He's 11-6, as I mentioned. And man, what the hell? He's on an 8-3 run. Let's go. That being said, how about this? The Rangers. They were in a tough skid themselves. They finally broke the streak against a Montreal Canadiens squad. A Montreal Canadiens squad that has been struggling on their own. It was a 5-game losing streak. And it was Jonathan Quick that came today. Shesterkin is battling his demons right now. Those demons are probably that regression thought of, should I have taken that contract and not bet on myself? Because he did turn down that 8-year, was it an 11-year, $8 million contract or 8-year? I just remember it was like $88 million. And he said, no, he was going to wait till his contract expired and then go out there and test the market. And that certainly, with a 3.12 goals against average, has not boasted well for this guy. 91.3% save percentage. And he's lost 4 straight. Serviceable would be the number at 91.3% save percentage. Devils score 10 goals in their last 2 games against a goaltender that's probably got some head demons going on right now. That's good enough for me. I was expecting this number to kind of roll down in this direction here, so I did have a couple of trends that I went to as well. Away favorite off a loss versus a home dog off a win. That's the buy low, sell high model, and it's been hit at 68% this season. That does fit the criteria for the New Jersey Devils. 3rd game in 4 days for both teams. I think that the big win there against Montreal is probably not what they want to see here, because the Devils are going to come in. This is a rivalry. This little tri-state rivalry. The only team that's really not a function in this tri-state rivalry what's going on? The only team that's really not relevant in the competition is the New York Islanders. But the Devils, the Rangers, and the Flyers always battle each other. They come to play. We saw the Flyers take it to the Rangers the other day, and I'm good with it. I'm going to roll back in. I'm going to back the Devils and Markstrom. Fuck Shesterkin and betting on himself. So that's a late ad for me. And let's go. What we got for this next game here? Last game for the NHL slate tonight. The last game for the small slate, but we got some player props in there as well. Let's look at this Dallas Stars Utah Yeti spot there. The 15-8 Dallas Stars. Second leg of a back-to-back now with travel. And they're going to Casey DeSmith. Interesting move for the squad. Casey DeSmith, 2.81 goals against average, but a strikingly low 89.1% save percentage. That's weird. That's him. That's him at 89.1% save percentage. 10 goals on 53 shots will do that to you. That's his last 2 starts. He's been getting lit up, a.k.a. Christmas tree, and it's that time of year. He's wearing the green, the Christmas green, Christmas time. Yikes, 33 years old, probably going to be auditioning for a new squad next year, would be my estimation out there. But, look, big win for the Stars. 3-1 over the Winnipeg Jets. The red-hot Winnipeg Jets have been starting to kind of come back down to earth. The Utah Hockey Club does average decent scoring. They've kind of found that streak again. On the other side of things, they're going to Vemelka in goal. 9th start in the last 10 games. Connor Ingram being hurt is an issue. They don't have anybody else. We talked about this last week. Vemelka's 3-6-1. He's got a 2.4% goals against average and a 91.7%. That's serviceable. That's actually better than serviceable. That's not quite elite, but somewhere in that little gray area. We'll come up with a name for it. And he's a young guy. Utah at this point, though, home dogs coming in here. The Dallas Stars on that second leg of that on that second leg in that back-to-back situation does concern me a little bit. But I think the angle that we have to look at here is the low-scoring abilities. We see this defensive-oriented team. Yeah, the Utah Yeti are starting to come back to form and start finding some goals. We know overall that, again, the Dallas Stars, especially on the road, kind of can be that slow starting one. In fact, if you look at home, look at this team here. On the road, the Dallas Stars are 4-3-4 in the first period. So they kind of not really starting it out by taking pace. That scared me a little bit, because do you really care about a Utah Yeti squad if you were the Dallas Stars and you just came off of beating that big Washington or big team in Winnipeg? You've had big wins in games against Colorado, Tampa Bay, Washington, and now you got the Yeti and you're a slow starter. What concerns me is if they get off to a 2 or 3 goal lead for the Utah, which they can do at home, Dallas just says fuck it and phones it in. Now, Rupi Hintz is back. That's a big deal for the Dallas squad out there. They got him back in the lineup. He's been conditioned and he's ready to roll. He's also a prime candidate to get some goals tonight, but not a good starting situation. And that kind of led me to thinking about this Utah side of the house. But, I think that the fact that Vemelka's been solid, Casey DeSmith needs to step it up for sure. But I think the low-scoring nature of these two teams is going to lead us to an under 6.5 in this game. If you like unders, or if you don't like unders, tonight's card is going to be tough for you, because it's Monday, it's after Thanksgiving. Like, everything kind of falls under that sleepy little model of just kind of, let's get through this day and let's kind of get back to some, think about yourselves at work today, coming back after a couple of days off. Were you firing on all cylinders? Maybe you were. And if you were, you're a sick bastard. But I know normally it's like, oh man, I got to get a third cup of coffee because I can't get my head and my ass wired together. And that's kind of what I envision this situation to look like here as these guys go on the road for this travel. Yeah, Casey DeSmith, but that doesn't mean that they can't still find a good W out of this thing. Find this guy's ability to come out there and, manage some shot making out there. Not to mention, last but not least, we got some reverse line movement here. What the fuck? Fucking cookies. Not the good kind. 86% of the bets and 94% of the cash are on the over 6.5. The numbers come down. Well, it hasn't really come down. It's juiced to the under is what it is. It's minus 115 to the under. Plus 102. With all that money coming in, 94% of the cash. That is literally all that money coming in on the over. It's sitting at a plus money price tag. Suspect. Let's take that under 6.5. Let's roll on. Onward and upward. You guys got some comments in the chat. Look at you guys. Who's in the house? Rangers couldn't beat the Canadians by 2 at home. Be grateful. Yeah. Trans-Canada. Fuck you, Winnipeg Jets. It's going to be fun. I know there's a big game coming up here, so let's go. Nunny says, Bo played at a high school I played against a few years ago. He was an 8th grader on their JV team when I was a senior. We called him Bo Picks. Forever. Now he'd be balling. It's cool. It's fun to see that. It's fun to see a little resurgence of life out there for Denver, because it's crazy how bad Russell Wilson looked in Denver and how great he's looking in Pittsburgh, but yet how bad Denver did with Russell Wilson and now how great they're doing with Bo Nix. It's like a weird, maybe it's the year 2 of the coaching transition, right? Coach is in, things are ready. Who's like Alexis Lafreniere, anytime goal scorer? Don't be surprised if Fox gets the first goal for that New York Rangers team. Don't be surprised. But Robert likes the Utah and the under, and Old E gifting a sports money membership, my guy. I appreciate you. I saw you do that on the other channel the other day when I was on there with the fellas on Saturday. And out of repetition and routine, I was saying it gets a sports money membership. But thank you. Thank you, Oldie. Appreciate you, my guy. And if you did get it, consider paying it forward, you guys. We're going to continue to release more plays, more content specific to our members only, member exclusive plays out there, especially when we don't have shows. When we're in a situation where, afternoon rolls around, there's afternoon action. We're going to see more of that through the holidays with a lot of these bowl games. You're not going to want to miss out. Take the opportunity. It does mean a ton. It helps us pay the bills, keep the lights on, all these programs. I mean, look, the first of the month, they don't fuck around. They were zipping my account. They didn't care if it was Sunday. They're take. They want their bills. Shout out to Redbeard in the house. He gets the sports money membership as well. Appreciate you, my brother. Thank you very much. Blessing our action today, helping build this community. You guys are fucking rock stars, man. Thank you so much. Cheers. All right. Let's keep removing. Thank you so much, you guys. That really does mean a ton. I appreciate you guys, man. Always coming in here, always rocking, always representing, and blessing our action with positive vibes. Love it. Let's keep her moving. Shout out to you guys, both Redbeard and Oldie. Thank you, guys. And again, if you did get a gifted membership, consider paying it forward. Let's get excited. Let's get the train going and get everybody signed up here. Everybody should be in the green. As we continue to grow, we're going to continue to do special member-only options. So we appreciate that. Okay. Let's dig in on the NBA. We've got the Brooklyn Nets, the Chicago Bulls rolling in and hosting a big game here against the Nets. And what do we know about the Nets? They can almost fuck off forever. This line opened at +5. It's moved to +8. We have 77% of the bets and 73% of the cash on the Nets. And yet this line continues to move towards the Bulls. Then we look at the total that's dropping. 235 is all the way down to 230.5. And we've got reverse line movement. 79% of the bets and 74% of the cash are on the over. And this one's pretty short and sweet for me. I mean, look, we talked about some of the player props, some of the reasons, some of the angles and how to attack this game. Obviously, we know our guy Voos is in play. There's another one that I was looking at from a player prop perspective that I thought about for this game here. Let me see my notes. Nick Claxton, under 10.5 rebounds. If you're looking for adding a little same-game parlay piece, think about some Nick Claxton action out there. He's averaging 7.7 rebounds a game. Hasn't gotten 9 or more in the last 10 games the Nets have played. But yet he's pegged with a 10.5. He's averaging 7.7. He hasn't gotten 9 or more in the last 10, and they've got a number of 10.5 on that. But tough loss for the Bulls. 138-129. Them Boston Celtics the other day. And shout out to them Celtics. They did have that look ahead on deck potentially with the Cavaliers. Cavaliers got it done though yesterday, huh? Nasty Nate. 138-129 was that loss, and they've lost 3 of their last 4 of the Chicago Bulls, getting big point spreads too, 12.5s, 9.5s. They laid at 5.5 against Washington. They did thump Washington. Flip side of things, though, the Nets. The Nets did me dirty yesterday. I had the Nets first 5. I had the Nets full game. We've talked about this before. The best first half team in the NBA, the Brooklyn Nets. They had back-to-back home games against Orlando. With 1 day's rest in between, they lost them both. The Orlando Magic are up and coming. They're healthy. They're scrappy. They're grinding. They go up 123-100 that first game on the road. Then they roll in, and just yesterday, they bust them up again, 100-92. The Nets were up. A lot of that game, they covered that first half, no bueno. But they couldn't close out the deal. And I'm sure it is not a function of the look-ahead spot for the Chicago Bulls team out there. I'm sure they weren't sitting there going, oh, we got Voos coming into town. We better be ready to roll. I'm pretty sure that wasn't the case, or that they're going into Voos's house, I guess. But look, Brooklyn's 8-2-1 against the spread as a road dog. They won 4 of those games outright. They've won 3 straight outright in a row in this spot. And They allow the fewest rebounds per game to shooting guards, which is a big factor out there from a Zach LaVine perspective. 4.5 rebounds, only over that number one of his last 5, 3 or fewer and 4 of them out there. That sounds almost like a same game parlay. Nick Claxton under 10.5, Vucevic over, LaVine under 4.5 rebounds, and then for me, I talked to 8-2 on the road as a dog this season. They love playing in that dog role. Now they can't finish games out. That's enough for me to pump the brakes a little bit. But the best NBA team in the first half, I got to take a shot with them. And I got a minus 105. Let's see what the numbers look like now. Let's see what you guys can get on this market. But I got to take a shot with this here. 8 p.m. start. Give me the plus points. Yeah, 4.5s. Interesting enough. Here's an interesting thought. This line's moved from 7.5s to 8s here recently. Yet the first halves are coming down from, they were 4.5s. But we're starting to see some 4s settle back in there as well. So maybe I put my action in bet stamp and then everybody saw it and they slammed it. I don't know, but it was minus 105s, minus 109s, minus 118s, minus 120s. The good news is FanDuel does not have the best number out there. It's so funny when I bring that up to some people because they're like, hey, you know what? Now that I think about it, I don't win on FanDuel either. Although I did smack FanDuel with a nice fucking soccer parlay this afternoon. So fuck them. How about that? Gonna make the F-bomb great again. Appreciate you guys rocking here, man. Let's go. Joe W says, I heard a trend that Stefanski record against Pacific time zone teams are 0-5. Wow. The Fudan Bets says, what's up, buddy? Murray double-double on Rangers money line. Let's get this cash. Jaylen Brown upgraded to probable. Says Nico Hershiser, vowels. Anytime goal scorer for the Devils is his best take if you like the Devils. I'm not mad at that play whatsoever. I get down with that. What's up, Tarek B? Good to see you, my friend. Oldie says, Steam Report is must listen to. I just wish it was earlier, LOL. Eastern time problem. How much early is it going to be? If he gets out there and it's 6 a.m. his time. I actually got up super early on Saturday, so I was able to post the consensus report almost at the exact time that he sent it in. So it was, I wasn't quite, he still beat me up, but we got that out there nice and early for you guys. Shout out to Peter Gracia. He gifted a sports sticker, $9.99 for my guy, Peter Gracia. Thank you so much, Peter. Appreciate you, my dude. That's awesome, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That means a lot. Cheers to you, my dude. Blessing the action. Let's go. $9.99. I'm gonna make the button tonight. That's what I'm gonna do. I got a bunch of things to do. Peter, you have inspired me to make the dono button. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. That gets me jacked up, man. All right, let's go on to this next game here. We'll keep us moving. No reason to keep you guys here much longer than needed. The Lakers and the Timberwolves. This line opened up 4.5. It's moved to 7.5. And it's reverse line movement. 79% of the bets and 76% of the cash. I think the success last week, just honing in now with the data getting more mature, really incorporating the line movement now, especially last week with all the public betting going on out there. We had a really good sample. And if you look back at it, I think we're up like between what I post in the community tab and what I did on Pregaming, I think we're up like 17 units. We had a couple 2-1 days. We had a 3-0 on the community tab. We had some 2-0s in there. So check it out. But I do believe it's really a function, and I've been trying to make sure that I do a better job just last minute, and that's why that devil spot came in so late. But we have reverse line movement if you're looking at the Lakers side of things here. We got a 12-8 Lakers squad, a 9-10 Timberwolves spot, and this line seems funk. I want the funk brought on you here. Timberwolves getting the monkey off their back. They finally break that losing streak, and they pick up a win against the Clippers, 93-92. The aforementioned Clippers have made themselves firmly anointed on our shit list, although I do like their logo. The more I look at it, the more that logo kind of, I'm not sure what that is in the middle. That's supposed to be their arena? I'm not sure. Anyways, We look at the Lakers. Hey, they're sputtering. They're struggling. They're an inconsistent bunch. If it wasn't for the reverse line movement, I'd be all over the Lakers in this spot. Why? Well, we talked about this the other day. They're like the best team in the NBA on the second leg of a back-to-back, especially on the road. They get even better when they're on the road for some reason. I don't know what that's all about. But when we look at this thing, Anthony Davis has been moved to probable. And the rest of the guys, Christian Wood's out, Vanderbilt's out, Hayes is out, Reeves is out as well. Austin Reeves being out of there, certainly a factor. You want to look at some of the trends? You want to hear some of the numbers? This is an 0-2 spot against the spread for the season on the Timberwolves. The Lakers are in a 6-1 spot against the spread. Their last 7 games as a dog when the total's less than 225. Anthony Davis has gone over 25.5 points in 6 of his last 8 versus Minnesota. He was a strong look for me when it came to which player prop do I want to get involved with. He loves playing in Minnesota, and he's been averaging that 25 mark. I mentioned that at the start of the show all season long. When he plays, he's out there. I had to look at the total. I laughed because I was thinking about Jover's probably sitting there making himself sick. The unders hit 5 straight in Lakers games. The average that they're scoring is 103.8. The under is 11-2 in the last 14 games. The Timberwolves have had a rest advantage and been in the home favorite role. And they're an 0-2 spot out there. This is a great opportunity, I think, for this. Look at the Lakers have been struggling the last 10 days. They lost 4 of their 6, as I mentioned. They're not really coming into light right now. And they got a sluggish offense. If it's not for AD busting out a 25 spot, who's going to do it? Well, tonight it's going to be Rui. But we know that Austin Reeves is out of there too, so you lose a little bit more firepower. Welcome to the struggle bus. I took the under 220. I thought those were some strong supporting numbers. We have correlated movement on the number. Went from 225s all the way down to 225 and a half, down to 220s, down to 219 and a half. Now we're seeing 219s. Guess who's got the... If you're looking for the over, guess who's got the best number? FanDuel. FanDuel's got the best number. You know we like to see that kind of shit. Let's go. Let's take advantage. We'll take the Lakers. We got 2 more plays. 2 more plays, and we'll get you guys up and out of here. We're going to go to college hoops. Tough card tonight, man. I had a really great college weekend all around. So I had like a 4-0, I think, yesterday in college basketball, and man, it's been... Today's that day, though. I thought, you know what? I'm not going to go wide. I mean, there's a bunch of spots I like. I like William and Mary to kick the shit out of Old Dominion. I talked to you guys already about my Rhode Island thoughts against Yale. That is reverse line movement, though. Public road dog, plus 3.5s have moved to 2.5s with 74% of the bets, only 56% of the cash. Keep in mind, when I talked about that respected sharp action coming in, that differential now has an 18-point differential on that Rhode Island side with sharp bettors. It's pretty high, all in all. But the spot I looked at here, Air Force in Miami, this line opened up at 7.5. It's dropped to 6.5. So we have 74% of the bets on Miami of Ohio. We have 58% of the cash on Miami, Ohio. And yet the line's dropping. Then we look at the total. It started at 135.5. It's moved to 132.5. Now we're starting to see 131.5s. We have 86% of the bets and 87% of the cash on the over. And yet the numbers coming down. 2-6 Air Force. Really struggling out there to do anything consistently. But the biggest thing that they struggle to do, aside from cover and win, they're 1-4 in their last 5. They're 2-3 in their last 5 against the spread. That's not a team you want to back. But how about this? Back-to-back unders. Miami of Ohio starting to get some back-to-back unders. And the biggest reason for the under movement here, Air Force is terrible on the road. They travel like shit. They can't score. And you think about it, it's because they got kind of, they got, service academy players, right? But they're not generating, they're not garnering like number 1 overall draft picks. And so when they get to that uncomfort, that's unfamiliar surrounding, they can get rattled a little bit when they got the visiting team cheering in their face and waving their fucking sticks behind them when they're trying to shoot free throws. And what we got is an Air Force team historically that just shitting the bed. 105-79 on the under, including a little 3-game winning streak to the under there as well. So I got to jump in there. If you don't like unders, this is a tough card for you guys, but tough card, tough game to pull. I thought this was the right pull. I pulled it. If I say pull again, pull the rest of my hair out. So, I couldn't get to a side. One of the games that I really do like a lot later in the board here is, I like Tulane, but I don't know if they cover the full game. We kind of do have some reverse line movement there, so I would lean to Tulane in the first half, just to give you guys some other spots that I'm looking at here. I like UL Monroe to upset UT Arlington. It's a big trend in favor of UL Monroe covering this thing as a road dog. It's gone from 5.5 to 7, though, so I don't like that reverse line movement. Chicago State, St. Thomas. Chicago State should not be getting 19.5 points against St. Thomas. But I'd look to the under in that game. And I do like Nevada a lot, so I may do something later on tonight. That's a 10 p.m. start. We may look to hit Nevada. See how this line marinates here? This one's got 46% of the bets and 71% of the cash, and this is just size and matchup related. If you watch the way the Wolfpack play, man, they're big, and they're physical. And Washington State on the road is not in that position. There's going to be some glorious mismatches with one of the top guards in the country. I think Nevada kicks the shit out of them boys, but nothing official. Let's go to Monday Night Football. We got some official movement here in Monday Night Football. And you guys have already nailed a bunch of these great talking points here. Obviously, the Bo Nix factor. We look at the game, and then, of course, what do we got? Cleveland royalty now. Jameis Winston finding a way to gun him. And this line went from 3.5 to 6.5. The Broncos flip-flop. This is huge because I talked about this before. When you're looking at the numbers, you need the number, the very first number that hit the street. The very first one. I don't care if it's a look-ahead line, unless there's injury factors. That's a different story. Had that situation happen with Iowa State on Saturday. Some thought process that Iowa State line had dropped down. It hadn't. It had gone up because we had the look-ahead line from the very first number that hit the street 2 weeks in advance. So getting a complete picture is very important, that you see the very first number that hits the street. And that was the Broncos as a dog, plus 3.5. Now, it's obviously since moved, and can you justify the line movement? Well, fucking Bo Nix is going to be a rookie of the year. 70% of the bets and 66% of the cash are on the Broncos. And it's moved. And the total's dropping. 43 down to 42, down to seeing some 41.5s. 79% of the bets and 77% of the cash are on the over, and yet it's dropping. And yeah, the Bo Nix story, the Jameis Winston story is a lot of fun. I think there's going to be, elements, conditions, sure. The kind of the basics. You're at altitude. Here's the problem I had when I approached this game. I wanted to tease this up. We talked about the teasing up and the success that we've had. So I don't want to jinx myself by saying this out loud here, but what stopped me is the Browns just had a huge win against the Steelers. And then look what the Steelers did to the Bengals this week. They smacked them around like they were bitches. Not good. 24-19, big win there as a 3.5-point dog. Flip side with the Broncos, back-to-back wins. Atlanta, 38-6. Las Vegas, 29-19. We saw what Las Vegas did against the Kansas City Chiefs on Friday. But I can't go away from the home team. There's just too much value here. If you look at overall, when they're in the favorite role, the Denver Broncos have been smashing and cashing. The Broncos overall in a favorite are 6-0. They're covering by 18 points a game. That's one of the biggest margins I've seen, all things considered. And this is a beefy favorite. They're not coming in here as a 2 or a 3. They're 6.5s now in some spots. And in all fairness, they do kind of have that extra day's rest. if you look back at, from a Thursday night perspective, anyways, they're coming in here sliding in with that one extra. Now, obviously the Browns have the decided 3 days extra rest advantage in there, but look at the totals. Prime time, sure. Prime time numbers, unders, and that's continuing on Monday nights, particularly. Monday nights, the under has been one of the hottest tickets in town. But the Broncos are 12-0 to the under when they have extra rest, and the total's at least a 41. That's why I mentioned the rest factor. Teams playing on Monday night after a Thursday game are 35-16 to the under. That's the Steelers. They had that mini bye because they played on Thursday night football against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Teams that are between a -8 to a +4 are 48-4 to the under if their opponents got more than 7 days rest. It's crazy how all these rest factors come into a picture here of relevance when it comes to this Monday night primetime game. 48-4 to the under. Now, I do like what I've been seeing out of both these teams. Obviously Jameis Winston changes the dynamic for this Cleveland Browns team for sure. I'm just not going to get behind him. I mean, I get it. I like it. I want to pull the trigger on Cleveland, on Denver so bad, specifically because this is just a huge letdown spot. And when we got a big number for the Broncos in the favorite role, they crush it. But they still have a rookie quarterback. It's enough for me to say, just give me the win. But I'm teasing it with the under. I'm going to get this thing bought up, and I'm going to take it down to 47.5. So the Denver plus a half and the under 47. Honestly, I don't think if you tease this any direction, any side, any total, I don't think it's going to be wrong. I think it's going to be right in that sweet spot, that pocket that the bookies have hated. I told you guys that my locals shut down teasers. They've been getting cooked because it doesn't matter. They don't care. It doesn't matter. Whichever way you play it, you're cashing. Take the points up. Take the favorites. Take them down. Let's go. That's going to be how we close the show. Right there, boys and girls. Thank you guys all for rocking with me tonight. JPC says the Lakers lineup is out. Dungy says good looking parlay. Let me put that back on the screen for anybody that did join us late here. Let's go. There. Oh, let me close this banner down. Close that banner. Oh, that's not it. That's not it. Let's go. Let's have a big day today. I hope you guys make a ton of cash. You see the player to catch a pass boost on FanDuel. I did not. Tonight AOD says, tonight we fucked the bookies. Would you? I like it. Let's do just that, you guys. Thank you guys all for rocking with us here, and appreciate my guy, Oldie, gifting a Sports Money membership. Redbeard gifting a Sports Money membership, and Peter Gracia gifting $9.99 super sticker. Blessing our action, you guys. We are riding with real ones. They're keeping our best intentions in stack in mind. They're helping us grow our bankrolls. They're helping us build this community with selfless effort. Thank you guys all for rocking with us tonight. We'll be back tomorrow. Same time, same place. 6 p.m. Pregaming here at Sports Money on behalf of the Sports Money Network. Appreciate you guys hanging out on the way out the door. Do hit me that thumbs up button. Make sure you do smash that if you haven't done so already. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Appreciate you. Whoops. That's the wrong one. Monday to Friday, 6 p.m. We don't stop. Bring sleep